Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday morning's Market Intelligence Brief. My name's Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz here with Top Gun Options. Got a lot going on in the market, so let's get right to it with our Market Intel Brief for 12 July 2011. Obviously, folks, yesterday, Monday, market was under pressure, so we're going to discuss the reasons for that. Also take a look at gold. Incredible rise in gold, and we don't think that's going to abate anytime soon. We're also going to take a look at the VIX and what volatility is and how volatility is impacting the market right now. And more importantly, let's wrap it up with taking a look at some unusual options activity in MBIA, RIMM, a solar company, and Delta Airlines there. That's Trina Solar. So let's go ahead and take a look at our trading platform here, our paper trading platform. Obviously, equity markets were lower on Tuesday, and implied volatility continued to decline after the Fed released its minutes from its last meeting. Now, that's really not good news. But let's take a look at gold real quick before we get into what the Fed had to say. Gold prices surged again, and it's starting to test resistance near the 1575, which is just an all-time high. This is a chart of 2 years of gold, and that's not a wall of worry, folks. That is just an absolute wall of profit there, folks who are getting into gold. Now, a successful Italian bond auction yesterday also allowed the euro to rally off its lows, which helped the U.S. markets gain just a little bit of traction. But late in the trading session, Moody's announced a downgrade of Irish debt. That's not good. Irish eyes are definitely not smiling. Also, what happened on Tuesday, the trade balance deficit widened to $50.2 billion. Yeah, that's a B, in May, and that's up from $43.6 billion in April. Now, folks, economists were looking for a smaller increase to $44 billion. So there's a swing and a miss. And the FOMC minutes were released at about 2 Eastern time, and just not good. The text or the wording really showed that officials at the Fed stand ready to offer more policy easing, so to speak, if needed. Don't know when that's going to end. That's just it's absolutely insane. We're using our own money to save us. It's like Austin Powers. Allow myself to introduce myself. Just really doesn't make sense. All right, let's move on to volatility. What's going on with the VIX? Let's take a look at just call it the past 5 days, and you can really see that spike on Monday. So the VIX started the week moving higher, as we see right there, as the market just faced a deluge of selling on Monday from the Obama bond deals falling apart, some bad news about Italy and Greece. So just bad news Monday, and it continued. Now, the implied volatility index pushed through the 50 and 200-day moving average and continued to press higher on Tuesday. Now, this 2-day climb here of about 3 implied vols to nearly 19, 20, is about a 19 to 20% rise for you political science majors. So resistance is starting to be seen here near the June highs of 22 and 25. So if we kind of widen out the chart here, back here in June, 22-ish, a little bit of a spike there. So we're starting to climb up to those resistance level. And resistance is an interesting thing with the VIX. Now let's go back. Let's take a look 6 months back, because in March, there we go. In March, there we go. There's the resistance of 30. Had a huge spike in that near about 31, and supported the VIX is seen near about 18, which is actually the 50-day moving average. So seeing some interesting activity in the VIX recently. Some financial names buoyed the equity markets on Tuesday. Let's take a look at MBIA. Symbol is MBI. Shares rallied and it kind of led some other mortgage names like PMI, MTG, AGO, RDN, XL higher on Tuesday. Shares were up at one point today, about let's call it 7% out of the gate. and closed. It was up there around $9.11, closed at $9.04. And this is on news that the company agreed to drop a lawsuit against Bank of America and Merrill Lynch. Now, MBI options are seeing heavy trading as well. Now, the top trade was a 2,500 contract block of the Jan 10 calls. The January $10 calls. Let's slide these over here on our platform. If you take a look at the 10 strike here and just take a look at some of the volume and the open interest. We saw a huge 2,500 contract block trade today at $1.50 at these giant 10 calls. So total volume about 22,000 on the call side and just over 3,000 on the puts side in MBI, and applied vol in the options has jumped 20% to 78.5. Now, additionally, news that Fannie and Freddie could rent inventory instead of holding it and selling it boosted a lot of these mortgage slash financial-ish stocks. Let's take a look at some other bullish, unusual options activity in RIMM. Moved higher to about 28.48 today, and RIMM's July 30 call is one of the most actively traded equity options contract that was traded yesterday. So let's take a look at July, the 30 call, right down there. That 30 call, boom. Ton of activity, open interest, and volume. Some of the action, based on my research, a lot of it includes spreads. The July 29-30 call spread traded at 24 cents, nearly 400 times on the ice. Now, some options players might be initiating bullish trades in the BlackBerry maker in anticipation of new information at the company's annual shareholder meeting Tuesday. So, remains to be seen. Last two stocks that I want to cover with some unusual options activity. Let's take a look at a solar stock. Trina Solar was an implied vol mover down $2.97 to $16.79, and implied vol in TSL options is up amid increased put volume. Check this out. 25,000 puts and 12,000 calls traded hands in the Changzhou-based solar energy company. Meanwhile, implied vol in TSL options surged 80% to 96 after the company announced that an independent director and chairman of the audit committee has resigned from the board and the audit committee. So that's never a good sign for a company there. So check all these out on your own platforms there. But interesting options activity in Trina Solar. And let's wrap it up with a competitor of mine, Delta Airlines. Options were heavily traded Tuesday as shares fell to 52-week lows. Just hitting the 52-week lows. Take a look at a year chart there, and we're kind of getting ready to impact the ground there with Delta Airlines. Now, the top trades of the day are in the 2013s after the 12.5 and 17.5 call spread was trading at about 65 cents. 3,000 of those traded hands, and the spread, based on my intel gathering, looks like an opening trade and possibly a bet that shares will rebound through the the second half of 2011 and 2012. We had a bullish trade on US Air released by Top Gun Options, our intermediate trade alert service, the other day. So again, looking long-term bullish at the airlines and short-term bearish, but definitely a huge trade in Delta Airlines today. And finally, just taking a look at some other action in Lulu. We put this trade on in our model portfolio here the other day. Bearish on Lulu, already up about 10%, so a nice move. Lulu's going to be one of those ones, folks. I mean, overpriced yoga gear is just not the first thing people run out and buy when things are tough. That would be the first thing that goes over the side there. So we might be seeing a little bit of a top here. Let's bring this down a little bit. It looks to us that right around here we're starting to see it roll over. Starting to see this run come to a little bit of an end here, and we have a bearish position on. So if you're interested, go to topgunoptions.com and check out the trade alert service if you want to see that managed. So that's it for today's market intel brief. Going to be an interesting day. Look forward to seeing you all out there on the virtual trading floor. Matt Buckley, call sign Wiz with Top Gun Options. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge.